Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, Monday, February 2nd, 2026, first day of the month, and here we go. We're going into the Alexander trials, and we'll get to that in a minute. We have a book out called Hampton Horrors, but also this morning, a case that we've been following but haven't yet put in this format. It's U.S. versus Cohen, Brian Cohen. He worked for Morgan Stanley, but he defrauded a number of NBA players, including current Trailblazers starter, Jrue Holiday. So we went on Friday because we heard that he would be testifying before the Knicks game that he played in, but it wasn't. It's going to be today, and we're going to cover it. It turns out that back in the day, Mr. Cohen, working for Morgan Stanley, somehow told all these NBL players everything was going to be great. He sold them weird forms of insurance, and they lost a lot of money. Now, Jrue Holiday's wife testified last week, and there's a big fight about what the scope of her testimony can come in on the cross of Jrue Holiday today. So we'll be covering that. It's been picked up as far away as the NBA reporter for an Israeli website. Basketball is global. Now, the Alexander brothers, on the other hand, it's Sleeves Fest 2001. We've had so far 2 victims. I'm anticipating a third today. They're under pseudonyms. It's very tricky. There were finally some exhibits put out, and we put them actually in a song to go with the book. Yes, you can find that also on, I guess, on this platform where this is. The book is the Hampton's Horror, first in a series. Now, Friday, we're just catching up with this. Of course, we reported it live at the time. Mangione, no death penalty charge, thrown out by Judge Garnett. The big question now is whether DOJ will be appealing that. They can, but it would slow down the case and pretty much ensure that Alvin Bragg would go first, which they don't want. So we'll be all over that. We also stumbled into a guilty plea by a woman who killed a man named Stanley Stark in a hotel. Apparently he was a John and she was a prostitute, but she worked for a guy that said give GHB to the Johns and steal their stuff, but he died. And very quietly she pled guilty, and I think she's going to be a cooperator, but what kind of it's murder. It's bitter. We'll see what the deal is. We reported it. And we're still waiting for exhibits about this other case, Conyers, where the judge ordered exhibits to be released, and they haven't been because because the courtroom was sealed. The exhibits shown in the sealed courtroom were supposed to be released, and they have not been. We're all over it. Financial, Comerica closed the deal. The Fed ignored the 80 branches and a request for reconsideration. We'll get back to that because today is the first day of a month for the UN Security Council, and the UK is taking it over. And we've written to them seeking to put questions to their chargé d'affaires. We even wrote directly to him, and nothing. The UK, of course, there's the Online Safety Act of 2023. There's various censorship issues, but what about the US UN and Mr. Mike Waltz? More on that later today. Miroslav Lajcak, who was the president of the General Assembly at the time Inner City Press was roughed up and banned from the UN, has now lost his job in Slovakia because he's been outed in the Epstein files as joking around with Epstein as late as 2018. Bad taste. But worse taste, Antonio Guterres. It's not about jokes. He had one of only 5 seats on Ghislaine Maxwell's Terramar board. That hasn't been explained. They banned the press. They whine about their budget. See a story we wrote over the weekend. And the censorship continues. Well, we're not putting up with it. Tell you what, as much as we like the beat down here, we should have a right to go up there and ask about the various scoops we're writing from UN staff. And so we're heading in. Inner City Press, to be continued.